welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. This is episode 82. First up, I want to thank our sponsors, Defend Hawaii. If you go to Defend Hawaii's website, go check out defendhawaii.com. Check out what they have. They have a new spring line that just dropped recently. They also have a store in Windward Mall called No One. They have all their gear and new drops there. Go check them out. If not, go to defendhawaii.com. Use promo code ATBPod when you check out. You'll get 15% off whatever you order. So pick whatever you want, put in your information, and then when it says promo code, use ATBPod, 15% off. So go check them out. Next, we have HIbred Detail Supply, and these guys have everything you need to detail your car, getting it looking, smelling, feeling brand new. They have a store, Temple Valley Shopping Center. Go see Kaika. He's very knowledgeable of all his products and all his things. They just celebrated a 1-year anniversary. If not, go to iRepDetailSupply.com, promo code ATBPod, and you'll get 15% off your entire purchase order. And last but not least, we have Hawaii Candy Factory. And these guys, in about a year and a half or 2 years' time, just blew up all over the place. You see their candies everywhere. They're called noms. They have a kiosk in certain malls. You see them at Foodland. I just seen them at noms. At Longs. They had a Easter display. Go check them out. Hawaii Candy Factory. Go check out their noms. They have a bunch of crazy gummies and gushers with lihimui. Go check them out. Use promo code ATBPod upon checkout. You receive 10% off your entire purchase order. Aloha. Okay, this week my guest for this episode is somebody I've literally looked up to since I was a young boy, and I've seen his career from fighting in kickboxing matches at Dennis Alexio fights all the way to fighting in big shows at the Blaisdell and even Aloha Stadium. He's running one of the biggest gyms out of the east side right now and has a lot of fighters coming out of his camp. HIbred House is his gym right now, and it's KALEO KWAN. KALEO Lights Out Kwan. Now, that was your nickname, man. Lights Out.
Lights out, man. That was a great time in life, man.
Brah. It's nuts because I literally seen you fight at Blaisdell. I think I was maybe like 18 or 19, and you were fighting under the Alexio's undercard, and you've been on a long journey from this martial arts career, huh?
Yeah, the journey's been good, bro. It's been a good journey. It's opened up so much doors, allowed me to get on the platform to talk to people, to kind of spread my beliefs and just keep the legacy of my coaches going.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk to you about your coach, Tony. I got to train a few times with him. He would come to our school when I was at Bob's, and he would teach a kickboxing class here and there. He actually taught me how to do a Superman punch before it was even called that. I'll always remember that. But he was somebody who had a big heart, and his legacy of martial arts in Hawaii is kind of maybe forgotten through generations. And I definitely wanted to let people know about him because I know he played a big part in the person you are, as well as your fighting career.
Yeah. Tony definitely, he shaped and molded me to who I am today. He taught me pretty much everything with the kickboxing. I was so fortunate to be able to train under him. Nowadays a lot of the gyms are corporate, right? We got these big gyms coming into the communities, and it's kind of like a conveyor belt, Get in, jump rope, punch bag, the bell rings, you're gonna move. But with Tony, I was lucky, bro. It was so detail oriented. It was me and him. We started out with maybe about 12 guys. Myself, Mike B, Mike Malone, Darren Akal, Junior Artista, all these old school guys, Derek Silva, Kawi them, these are the guys that started with Tony, and as the years went by, only me and Mike kind of pursued that the fighting. So we was lucky because Tony he gave us 100%. He
Oh
was
yeah.
watching us. It was crazy. Your feet, your heels is touching the ground too much. Put your elbows in. It was so detail oriented that we were able to grow quickly. So I'm thankful for Tony, man.
Where did you guys train at?
Was kind of nuts. We was training all over the place. When the way it started was he was looking for about 12 guys to start a fight team, letting people know, hey, I'm gonna train 12 people. We're gonna just go around and get fights. So I jumped in with him. We started out at Wamanalo Gym, and actually any park that he could get into. We did in the parks. We went to Palolo a lot. We went to Kalakaua. So a lot of the old school boxing gyms we was training at.
Oh, this was like late 90s, like
Yeah,
96 around there.
yeah, late 90s. Unreal time. And Tony he was that old school teacher, like Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, yeah.
He was teaching us life lessons, not just fighting. The things he was teaching us. It kind of pertained to everything. So, good stuff, bro. And he wouldn't even take $1 from me. You know what I mean? I would try to pay him to train me, and he wasn't about the pay. He was about the passion, the martial arts. I would give him a couple ubus here and there.
That one cannot say no. That's why.
Yeah. That one you cannot say no, but yeah, it's definitely different, nowadays. Nowadays, you can see the martial arts. It's turned into a business for a lot of people, and it's a big business. Everybody wants to get into this, so.
Especially with the popularity now with UFC, and it kind of became mainstream. When you guys fight, was like Alexio's kickboxing matches or some smoker in Gussie's or some weird place.
Yeah, that was the heyday of kickboxing. That was the Blaisdell was sold out. We was young fighters.
Oh yeah, I got to compete.
Three, four fights in deep, and you walking out with a full crowd, and we're like,
bruh,
yeah, this is nuts.
Oh, would have mean beefs after, bro. Would be like some scraps in the freaking front of the Blaisdell. Those are the more fun.
Good fun times, bro.
Yeah. Oh, those Tony used to ref like those fights too, right? He would put on his gi and he would get in there. I always remember that.
Yeah. He was a big part of the whole martial arts movement,
what was his background? Was Kempo?
Yeah, Haji Kempo. Just like all the old school uncles, bro. They're all Kempo.
My dad was let at too, yeah.
Yeah, you got Professor Vance. I know he passed away. Martin Buell, all these guys that
Emperado, yeah.
Right. That was all his time, and yeah, one of the pioneers of martial arts, bringing that to Hawaii.
Yeah. I mean, we were fortunate because his son used to come do Taekwondo, Bo, and you said you just married him this past weekend.
Yeah, bro, crazy. Bo was, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years old when we were training. I remember that kid running around Bob Smith's place in his Pampers, bro. And just growing up in the scene, and yeah, like you said, I got to marry him this weekend, him and his wife Punia, which was it's kind of a full circle thing,
Oh yeah.
Back to the family getting to marry Tony's son. So yeah, I was stoked to do that.
You see him around a lot too.
Well, Bo started coming and training with me.
Nice. Year.
He actually got a fight with us. He did a smoker out of the HIbred House. So that was good. That felt good to be able for train with Bo and get him get him his first fight, being that his dad, he mentored me and kind of opened the doors for me in martial arts.
Yeah, I remember watching him corner you, and I was young, bro. And I remember when you won I forget who you fought, but you won a belt. And I just remember the words clearly. He was like, "It's too long. You've been doing this too long," and you guys like that always stuck in my head. And like just I could see your guys' connection, and bro, it was cool when he would come to the school and try to give his knowledge. Like me and Lau got to learn some stuff from him, and bruh, that guy was amazing. And um while he wasn't doing well and became ill, I got to see a lot of him because I would do his blood draws for him. And
I see.
yeah, I would take it to work so he wouldn't have to come to the DLS, and I'll just go by his house on my way to work, draw his blood, take him. And bruh, he's always like full of aloha, always full of love. And I remember he gave me his shirt one time. I still have it somewhere, and it's your guys' old school saying, "Live clean, fight dirty." And then in the back it said Hawaiian kickboxing. Was I still get them somewhere?
Yeah, that's the old school shirt, man.
Yeah.
Bo actually fought in that shirt, the Live Clean Fight Dirty shirt. And
Oh wow.
bro, that's such a an old school that brings back so much good memories, man. That's the one. Sherelle, his daughter, she still kept that kind of brand alive. So she did some shirts with that to kind
Oh,
of
that's
keep
cool.
Tony's legacy going. But yeah, bro, that was it. Live clean, fight dirty, Hawaiian kickboxer.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, after Tony left us, he kind of tried to create his own gym, and you guys started training under that banner, huh? And he kind of used that saying a few times, and I seen it was East Side Fight Club or something like that, huh?
Right. So when everything happened with Tony got sick, and he passed away. We kind of just doing our own thing, and Mike kind of stepped into the coach role. He started coaching, being a coach more, and kind of organizing everything. And that was a good time too, because me and Mike stayed with Tony the longest, out of that group that Tony had. So we kind of had a good understanding of his training and his philosophies and whatnot. So yeah, I'm grateful for Mike too for taking that role, because it allowed me to kind of just focus on fighting and
Yeah.
not have to worry about who's gonna coach me, who's gonna um, be my manager, who's gonna get me fights. So Mike, he stepped into that role, and he played a good role, and we did good things with the East Siders. That was
Oh yeah. You guys
a
had
good.
a pretty good fight team. And bro, it was right at that turn when kickboxing was kind of phasing out, and MMA, or at the time, was like no holds barred, and they had Super Brawl and all those Rumble
Right,
on the
right.
Rocks, and you just kind of blended into that MMA fighter from a straight kickboxer. I didn't know if you were doing ground before that, until like if or you were just doing kickboxing, but you
Yeah,
had to relearn the ground, huh?
it was kind of crazy. We started out boxing. I started boxing with Coach Blaine Yoshida at um
Oh,
at Wamanalo Boxing Club. They were called East Oahu Boxing Club back then. So I started out boxing. Um, I turned pro as a boxer. The boxing was, back then wasn't really big in Hawaii. We never had too many pro boxing cards that we could get into. So we started getting
yeah.
into kickboxing, is where Tony stepped in and kind of allowed me to, progress in kickboxing. In the kickboxing, we pretty much we captured a lot of the titles, the 155-pound titles in
Oh
kickboxing, and then
yeah.
just with the evolution of the fight game in Hawaii, we kind of jumped into the MMA. But it's kind of funny how we got into it. I was a punching bag at the Wamanalo gym, and John Kukahiko, remember John?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he had Koden Khan back then. So we were training, and John goes, "What, Lil? What, you would ever fight with MMA?" And in my head, I thought, "No ways, I ain't fighting MMA. I never ever did ground in my life. I don't want to get trapped on the ground and I cannot get up." But my pride was like, I could just tell him, yeah, I was fighting. And like a month later, he comes back. He's like, "Hey, Lil, I go and fight for you." "Oh, where?" "Oh, Punishment in Paradise." "Oh, cool."
Oh, I remember that.
He's like, "On MMA." I'm like, "Bro, why do you do that, bro? I'm not an MMA fighter." He's like, "Bro, you said you would fight when MMA fight." And that's how I ended up doing MMA, bro. Not having any ground at all. Fighting this kid, Kevin De Lima from Booze Pen at the time. He was a jiu-jitsu guy, and I was terrified, bro. Terrified. I did not want to get taken down. But
Oh, he
luckily,
put you in with a jits guy right off the start.
that's Kooks. Thanks, Kooks.
Oh.
Yeah. But he put me in with a jits guy. Kevin was kind of he was on a winning streak, and back then it was kind of hard to get fights already because we were doing really well in kickboxing and boxing. So when we transferred into the MMA, people already knew, this guy, he get fights, he's experienced. So a lot of the newer guys, they didn't want to match up.
Yeah,
So we had
yeah.
to get fights with guys who was already established. And that was Kevin. That was the first fight I had. I was lucky. I ended up knocking him out with a kick. But I mean, after that, it was history, bro. We fell in love with MMA and just kept going.
Oh, back then was in one ring too. I wasn't even cage, huh?
Yeah. I was ring Brandon Kamaka's events.
Oh,
Those
yeah, yeah. I
was at
remember.
High School.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had some kickboxing fights in like Waipahu Gym too back in the day. Had yeah, it was all kind of weird spots. Block
Yeah,
Arena.
all over, all over. Even in the nightclubs.
Yup,
Fight club
Gussie.
in the
Oh, Go
nightclub. Yeah,
Lounge.
it was pretty wild, bro.
Yeah, the first time I seen Max fight, he was like 16 and it was at O Lounge and it was X1. They had on little cage too. Like you couldn't run in that one.
Yeah. I remember Max coming up, man. He was the young boy. He kind of went
Yeah.
unnoticed for a while until he started taking out all the OGs.
Yeah, he fought was it Harris one time?
Fought Harris, or he fought Travis Bear. I saw him choke out Travis Bear, and I was tripping out because Travis was one of our teammates before he went over to 808. And this guy he was strong as an ox, bro. He was strong, and he choked out Travis. And I was thinking, that was lucky. That was lucky. And I saw him. He knocked out who was it? Bryson Kamaka. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Oh, bro, that's pretty nice." When he beat Harris, I'm like, "Oh, this kid is
Action, huh?
yeah, this kid gets some action." So that was a cool time, watching the young boys
Yeah.
come up in the game.
Well, back in the day for us as fans, when you guys would fight Icon and Super Brawl, that was like the start of MMA. And back then, it was so fun to watch because fighters wouldn't be signed to a place so they could fight any kind. So TJ, the guy from Super Brawl, would bring down these huge fights. And like you said, it would be sold out arenas for watch Nico and Mayhem Miller or Robbie Lawler. It was pretty big name dudes that were fighting in these fights, and you guys were all fighting in the same cards. And back then, it was always a sellout. Like, and had Super Brawl, it was like it was an event, bro. And it's not like that now because of like once the Hawaii gets a pretty prominent fighter, they get signed to UFC, and then he's not going to fight her unless he's in Bellator or something like that.
Right.
But like you said, those days were you guys did some crazy fights, bro. It was always fun. It was always a big production and something to look forward to when you guys used to fight in those things.
Yeah, that was a good time for MMA in Hawaii, man. I remember Nico them was selling out the Blaisdell.
Yeah.
Um, who else was Egan Inoue,
Yeah.
Kalao? These guys was bringing down mainstream fighters to fight them. So the Blaisdell was going off, and we was fortunate enough to get on those cards, and kind of make a name for ourselves, get our name out there, and fight some high level guys from the mainland. A lot of guys that we were able to fight was guys who was just getting into the UFC, or their coaches was UFC stars. So yeah, we had some good caliber back then.
And you guys got to compete like mainland and other countries, or just definitely mainland. Huh? You got to fight in the mainland.
I mean, that was the beauty of the fight game. It gave us the opportunity to travel the world, and that's why I
Wow.
like it. I got to fight in the Philippines. I got to fight in
Oh,
Australia, and I would never go there if it wasn't for fighting. So, I mean, that's definitely the perks of being able to get into the fight game, and you get to meet a lot of people. It opens doors for you. Um, it just allows you to kind of spread your wings and fly. Yeah?
yep, for sure. And like you said, on local boy from Nalo, flying all over the world to compete. That shows precedence of what you were doing, and definitely it was the start of something. Like it's hard to think back then that this was something that's gonna blow up into what it is now, but you was laying groundwork, and the sport was so young. It's still young, but now it's becoming more mainstream, and you guys are already put in the work and set all the roots down, and now you get your gym, and it's bruh, I've been hearing all kind of good stuff, and I see you guys doing your thing, and it's bruh, honestly, that's Tony's legacy that's still living, bruh, and it's through you and gonna be through the people you train. But it's crazy to think that now you're running one gym, and how's that been, bro? HIbred House is becoming one of the top gyms in Hawaii.
It's pretty crazy, bro, to look back at the journey, look back at where we came from and what we were about. Back then, we were just kids, having fun, uh, not even thinking about the future. We just was thinking about, we can fight, we make money, we can go out, we can party, we can all the boys hanging out with each other. So it was kind of like a boys' club back then. I had some of my best friends training with me, so we would train every single day, and not even feel like we trained. We just felt like we was hanging out with the boys. And when one of us fights, everybody goes. We go to the mainland, everybody goes. So it wasn't about back then. And as we got a little bit deeper into the sport, and for me, I learned that it was the opportunity to get on a platform, and change the community, change the
Yeah.
thinking of these kids. Once I started getting a little bit older and kind of hitting the tail end of my career, that's what I was thinking about. Kind of just being able to talk to kids. We look at the communities we come from. We see a lot of broken families, a lot of hard head kids, and I just think sometimes, well, a lot of times we're good at a few things in life. Maybe one, two good things we can do, and shucks, just so happened fighting was one of them for me, and everybody loves fighting. You know,
Yeah.
especially in these communities. Everybody loves fighting. The boys love fighting, and a lot of times it draws the knuckleheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, fighting draws that there. So it gives me an opportunity to try to instill a little bit better characteristics in them, instill better qualities, and just push that forward. when growing up, my grandparents was preachers. My grandfather was a pastor. My
Okay.
father's a pastor. My uncle's a pastor. So we grew up in church, and when you're younger, you kind of don't want to. You just want to party. You just want to
Yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah.
You just want to do what all these other kids are doing, not thinking about the future. But growing up in church, it allowed me to grasp a lot of that good characteristics, a lot of that goodness. And once I got older, I lean on that a lot, especially with what's happened in my family and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it kind of allowed me to fall into that mind, so to speak. Where I can talk to kids. I got for an hour every day. I got 40, 50 kids that give me their undivided attention. And whatever I'm telling them, they're soaking it up because they want to learn. They want to know. They think, man, I want to be a fighter too. So we try to instill more than just punching and kicking and fighting in the gym. We try to build tough, kind-hearted, good people, and that's the goal in the gym. And yeah, that's where we at, bro.
Right. It seems like you're doing it the right way, and your roots, like you said, you had roots from pastors. So at the time, you like myself too. Like I grew up Catholic and went Damien and stuff. And at that time, you're not thinking about what you're learning. But when you get older, like you said, you can draw on from those experiences and what you've learned from that and apply it to your life now. It's weird how age creates appreciation. All the
Yeah,
stuff you
yeah,
learn when you're young, you don't really appreciate it until you're older. But now you passing it down to the next generation. And you're right, fighting does draw a lot of bad seeds, but I mean, you on bad seed until you spar and get one batter fucker that busts you up,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then you
yeah,
learn
yeah.
learn how to be humble. I mean, that happened to me. I thought I was a badass till my first sparring day, and realized quick when this little Korean kid lit me up that I ain't nothing.
Yeah, yeah. And that's
You
that's
act
so
right.
critical. You,
Yeah.
you, you always get these kids come in like spar. You trained before? No, but I had choked street fights, which
That's
is
the
kind of
motto, huh?
yeah. It's kind of funny. I kind of chuckle and like, oh, okay, put your gloves on then, and we'll put you in with Harris or somebody,
Yeah.
and they learn real quick. Like,
Oh
holy
yeah.
shit, man, that street fight's never really
Mean
amount to,
nothing.
but I mean that's an opportunity for us to kind of change their mindset. Because everybody's like that. They come in, yeah, I scrap, I did, I did that, but you learn that these are people who are training every day to do this. Not just
Yeah.
Friday night after you go out drinking, you're
Yeah.
strapping at the district or wherever.
Yeah.
It's just
And it
it's a different game. But
and it becomes good for the kids because then it teaches them goals. And then once you have a goal, you try to figure out how to work towards it. And that's where the dedication, discipline, and then they start learning life lessons, trying to reach goals that they want to get to. And then once they get it, they see it's working. It's like, okay, now what's the next one? And next thing you know, you created a disciplined man that can use what he learned from martial arts in everyday life. And that means more than winning one belt or anything, you know what I mean?
oh yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, these kids come in thinking that they're just gonna learn how to fight, but they, like you said, they're learning how to be a man. Bro. They're learning how to do things that men do. Be
Yeah.
disciplined, work hard, be humble. All these characteristics they go hand in hand with fighting. Because if you ain't disciplined, you ain't gonna be very good.
Yeah.
Discipline to cut out all the things that don't work. Cut out the drinking every weekend, the partying every weekend, the discipline of being in a gym when everybody's going out. It just yeah, and it's an opportunity to teach these guys to be better, and like I said, how to be a man, how to be a champion in life. Yeah.
Yep, that's what matters. So how's your gym been, bro? You get some hammers coming out that actually have potential to make this into a career and kind of take it to the bigger platforms. Because you guys have been putting out a lot of fighters, huh?
Yeah, we've been busy with the fight game. You know, when I first started coaching, that was my goal. I wanted to create fighters. I wanted to be able to create to 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 carbon copy what Tony was doing. You know, I know his system worked. I understood his system, so we put that system into play. I had when I first started, I had KALEO Kawai,
Oh
Isaac
yeah.
Hobbs, Ola Lum, Bryson Lum, my son KALEO KWAN. All these kids, we brought them up from no fight experience to being some of the top strikers at their time. So I knew it would work. I knew we could carbon copy that. We could copy paste that. So I kind of got into bigger gyms.
Yeah, you guys was in Kahaluu for a little while, huh?
We did Kahalu for a little while. Then we went to the dump road in
Oh, that's right.
Kapa'a. Then I went to O2 and shops, bro. I'm not a businessman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I cannot punch or kick things, I'm totally lost. So I went into this business kind of blind, kind of naive, you know, getting little leases here and there. And I never know about business. And shucks, kids was like, Uncle, I cannot afford. I'm like, you know what, come, just come, clean the bathroom. Uncle, I cannot afford. Just come, just mop the mats. And was good. We had a lot of kids, but when the rent came around, I had 40 kids mopping a bathroom, you know what I mean? And not
Yeah.
not able to pay the rent. So we struggled on that area. And I kind of I ran into one of my old friends, Alika Kailihiva,
Oh,
um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shane.
Yeah, EKM Records. Shout out to
That's the
him, bro.
one. Yeah,
I
yeah,
knew
yeah.
him. I knew him for a while. We did events with him. Yeah,
Yeah, good Hawaiian,
massive.
but
Oh,
good
that's some
brother.
good. Him and his wife, bro. Good, real
Yeah,
good people, bro.
I
Yeah.
linked up with him, bro. I was working at UFC gym, Waikele, and he was one of my clients. And when I left there, he followed me. He was like, "Hey, where are you gonna start training?" I'm like, "I was just training in my garage." So he kind of encouraged me like to step out and get back into my own gym. I didn't want to. I was like,
Oh,
nah, I'm just gonna run it out of my garage because I didn't have that business knowledge, you know. So I jumped in with him. We got this place here that we're at 167 Hamakua in Kailua, and we started out with one small little gym right in the back of one clothing store.
oh,
And
yeah,
as
yeah.
we grew, we took over the front half, and then we expanded to upstairs. So we actually have two locations, but we struggled, bro. For probably the first 5 years, we struggled. We never made a dime. It looked good, you know, a lot of people, but the rent in Kailua is
Oh,
horrendous.
yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
horrendous.
It's
It's
like
nuts.
mainland already over there.
We catch cracks every month, and for the first 5 years, we dug ourselves into a deep hole, you know.
Hmm.
And but just the passion of coaching and plus two, my family was a big part of the gym too. You know, my son was a big part of the gym, and I created such a good bond with my son in this gym. So it holds a lot of sentimental value to me. So I mean, losing the gym was not an option. You know what I mean? I was like, there's no way I'm gonna lose this gym. I don't care if I'm 100,000 deep in here. We would fight our way out of this hole, and yeah, bro, that's what we did. We kept on fighting, and this year we're in the black, bro. We're good.
Oh, that's
We
super good news, bro. Plus,
yeah,
Shane and his wife are very good business people. They're you never know because they're super humble, low key, and but they're smart, bro. Like just talking to them, they're always making on move. They always have business in mind. They have successful businesses in around the world, and
Right, right.
it's a good person to link up to because he has the same aloha and passion that you guys would have. And bro, that's super good news because honestly, this side of the island needs it. And bro, like you said, all these knucklehead kids that need some guidance, bro, they need it on this side of the island. I know
Yeah,
Charles has his gym going, and that's successful on the other side of the island. And yeah, it's cool to see that you guys have something here, and it's with people that know what they're doing, and especially your coaches, bro. Like you and Harris are there. There's nobody that can say you don't know what you're talking about because you lived it for so long and been in it with the best of in the world. You know what I mean? Especially Harris too, bro. He has like million fights already.
yeah.
You guys even fought each other. I remember one time.
It's nuts, bro. It's crazy. Harris, yeah, he was like my not enemy, but
You're,
he was the other 155er that
yeah,
was always shooting for the top seat. So we fought on different occasions.
I
He
remember.
he was training out at 808 Fight Factory at that time, and I remember fighting Harris. That was good times. We
Yeah.
battled. I think 3 times we battled each other.
I
But
remember
it's
one time, I
crazy.
think was at Dole. I was at one at Dole Cannery, I think was.
Yeah, Bill Cannery was
Yeah.
Rumble on the Rocks, bro. Eight nine.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I
that was a
remember.
crazy one, bro. We
Yeah.
had to fight we have to fight 3 times that night. So you fight, you beat your
Oh,
opponent
that's
in the
right.
back. You sit down and you wait for them to call you again, and you come back out. And yeah, I met Harris in the finals, bro. I met
I
him in the
remember
finals.
that. Yeah. Oh, how is that, bro? That's nothing. Like, how can you do that now, bro? Just the adrenaline dump alone.
It's crazy. That was, I mean, like I said, bro, back then was just fun, was pure fun. You know, we never look at it as a job or it was just fun. We get to scrap, we get to scrap,
Yeah.
and we get to get paid even better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was shucks. It was crazy, but I mean, I'm thankful for those opportunities because it's shaped us to the people we are today. You know what I mean? Tough.
Yeah.
You cannot say we're not tough, bro, because we
Oh,
was
yeah.
fighting back to back to back against the best guys in the state as well as around the nation. So yeah, that fight with Harris was crazy, bro.
I
So
remember. Yeah.
we end up standing up the first round and we're banging each other, and I'm thinking, yeah, perfect. We can stand and bang. And the second round, he comes out, takes me down, mounts me, and beats the shit out of me for 3 minutes straight, bro. I remember Abe Rodriguez was the ref that time. Harris is on me, mounting me, elbowing me. He's like standing there with his arms crossed, looking at me, and I'm thinking, Abe, stop the fight. Stop the fight, man. Because I always told myself I would never tap to punches. You would
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
knock me out before I tap. So in my head, I'm like, hey, please stop the fight. And
So
he's
were you
standing,
watching or what?
he's watching, he's like looking at his eyes, like, come on, bro, stop the fight. And my wife is in my corner and she's yelling, you better not tap. You better not tap. Oh man. And Abe finally stops the fight, and I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. Harris was actually the only guy to cut me in my career. He cut me over my eyebrow.
Oh,
First time
wow.
I ever got cut in my career. But we end up after that fight, they had the after party, and Mike tells me, "What, bro? You like go to the hospital, or you like go to the after party?" Like, fuck, I like go to the after party. He's like, "Okay, we're Long's drugs. We go Long's buy super glue. He super glues my eyebrow, and we end up going to the Hyatt, the club right across the Hyatt at that time.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably was
One,
one of our events.
yeah.
Bro,
Oh,
that's insane. Yeah, you guys, I seen him at at 24 recently, and he told me, "Oh yeah, we doing one smoker. I go and box KALEO." I'm like, bro, you guys never get it out of your system yet.
Yeah, bro.
It's so funny, bro.
We did a fundraiser for the kids. We took the kids up to Arizona to go to a tournament up there, the G Lewis tournament. So we did a boxing and beers in the gym. Some of the OGs just came out to put on smokers for the kids. It was good, bro. Me and Harris fought. Brandon Wolf was
Oh wow.
yeah. So we bought some of the old guys out of retirement, older guys out of retirement.
What was it? Team Mad, he was.
Team Mad, yeah, Brandon
MMAD,
Team
yeah,
Mad,
yeah.
yeah. Those were
Scotty
some
Junk.
tough guys,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Those
Those
was
were some tough
hammers.
guys. Brandon, Maui,
Yeah.
the Daniel
Colin.
brothers,
Yeah.
yeah, Colin. Yeah, that's some of those guys came out. They helped us out too. So yeah, we're just trying to bring up the next generation, bro. We
Yeah.
got a big kids team. We got a big adults team, and then just trying to, like you said, keep the legacy of Tony alive, keep the live clean, fight dirty style of fighting alive. And
So who in your team right now has like gonna be the next guy that gonna you guys gonna start showcasing in the bigger shows? And I know Kanan was getting some shots at some big stuff.
Kanan was he actually moved to Vegas to pursue fighting, and then I
Oh,
was telling him like it's time for you, go boy. You should think about getting to the big show. You gotta get around better people because he kind of was the big fish in this gym, you know.
yeah.
Um, so I told him at least try go up there and see how it feels and see what's going on. So a lot of our older guys, Kanan, Isaac, Jonah, those guys kind of just went on with life,
Yeah.
married, kids. So we got one young stable, bro. Real young stable of fighters. Some of the guys that's coming out is Carl Stefani. Carl just fought this weekend in the Trinity. He's still amateur.
Oh, okay.
He's doing good. Elias Goldie just won the Trinity title. Um, yeah, those two guys are probably. Oh, Tristan Futa. Tristan is one of our young boys that we're pushing. But like I said, all of our guys is still young. We don't have any pros yet. We're trying to build our amateur team up and hopefully we get some diamonds in this crew. You know.
Oh, that'd be awesome. And it's always good once, I mean, I hate to say it, but like success is good advertisement. So
Yeah,
you get awesome fighters that are doing bigger things. Like, oh, where he trained? It's like, oh, HIbred House. Oh, that's our side of the island. So that's always good advertisement. It's I always thought like the fighters that are successful is how you advertise, and then the kids is how you kind of make your money to keep the gym open and go. And then I mean, you can get, and with even with our taekwondo school is like you can get 100 kids, and in 5 years only two of them are gonna get their black belt. So it's
yeah,
kind of the same. Out of all the kids you have, only two of them gonna be maybe the in the UFC or big shows and stuff like that. But they all gonna learn life lessons, and that's the main thing.
yeah. When like we was talking about earlier, going into the coaching, I wanted to kind of create fighters, you know, but I learned real quick that fighters they don't pay the bills,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and especially being a fighter, you know. Like I said, Tony never took a dime from me, and that was something that really stood out to me. You know, this guy is giving me all his time. He's not taking money from me. So my fighters, I wanted to give them that same aloha, you know, that same
Yeah.
opportunity. I don't want to charge you guys and you guys going to pay for the bills. So I learned that the fighters is going to draw in the people, the community, because they see,
Yeah.
well, I want to train where these guys train. And the more people we can get into our gym, we can allow our fighters to continue fighting, you know. And that's the philosophy we have now. The fighters, they pay, but you know, a lot of them come from broken homes. A lot of them come from places where they don't have a lot of money. So it's a different deal with them. And the community being able to attract kids, attract your everyday people is a bonus, because those are the people that want to train, they want to learn, they want to be a part of that whole community. So in turn, they can help fund the gym, help keep the lights on, and then we have this well-oiled machine that's able to have this constant wheel turning. You know, being able to have a successful gym, make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Cannot wait till we make a little bit of money.
Well, you put in the work, brah, and yeah, it's like I said, it's definitely something this side of the island needs, and there's a lot of talent, brah. Kanioi to Waiman, or like even what Kava to Waimanalo, brah. That's a big group of a lot of tough kids, brah. Get a lot of tough kids on this side that just need some guidance and
Yeah,
some
bro.
skills. Develop the skills, and brah, you guys are doing awesome.
Country kids is tough kids, bro.
Yeah.
The kids that come from the dirt, that's tough kids, you know,
Yeah.
and they know. And I always, you know, I talk with some of my friends who's coaches also, and we all agree, man. Fighting is a poor man's sport. That's an opportunity for these people in situations to get out of that situation.
That's
You know,
true.
so it's a good feeling to be able to be a part of that movement and give people opportunities to get out of situations and better situation better their situation for all of us, you know.
Yeah. So now that MMA and martial arts and fighting has been developed into a new sport, and there's new stuff, it's like anything, it's always evolving. How are you able to keep that same traditional discipline aspect and martial arts with the kind of the new school techniques and stuff like that? How are you trying to, I mean, you guys are hybrid house, so you guys must be hybriding both into your fighters, bro. How has that been to create the new school fighter with the new stuff that's coming out?
Well, shit, it's been a learning process. We were still learning some of the newer techniques, and the coaches that we have here is all high level coaches. These
Oh
guys,
yeah.
they all are experts in their field. You know, we got Harris, this guy, like you said, this guy got millions of fights. He fought
Yep.
everybody who was anybody
Oh
in
yeah.
our time. You know, he's been all over the world fighting. I had the opportunity to fight a lot of good guys, a lot of good stand up guys. Um, Chris Kawhi High is part of our team too. He's a black belt. His son is Kaden Kawhi High, you know, so he has a deep knowledge of the jiu-jitsu. Um, then Carl Stefani jumped on board for our fitness along with Dane Tuzio. So we got a lot of coaches with a lot of experience that we can mesh and blend and make things work, you know. Like you said, hybrid. We're trying to be hybrid. We're trying to continue to evolve.
Yep. And that's the hard part, because I know martial arts, especially old school martial arts, they're really set in their ways, and change is difficult. And I remember a couple of times, like, we wanted to cross train with other gyms and we weren't allowed to. And it's like, bruh, we live on an island. We need to get different looks. We need to spar different people, because that's how we can get better. Like, I sparring Lao and Boob every week. We're gonna beat each other up for months straight, but we're not gonna get any better.
Yeah, right. You know each other too good, yeah.
Yeah.
But the cross training, we encourage the cross training. You know, I encourage our fighters to get out there, especially sparring. You want to see all kinds of looks. We invite everybody over on our sparring days. In fact, our sparring days is kind of nuts. That's the most packed our gym is when on sparring days. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays is packed, and we invite everybody. You know, if you got a good attitude, check your ego at the door and let's work. You know, we're here to make Hawaii better. We're
Yeah.
here to push Hawaii fighters to the next level. You know, and I think that cross training will help. Of course, I don't want, you know, you're not gonna stay and have another coach shape and mold you because it's not feasible. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have a coach, but the cross training is good. I believe that. You know, that's my belief.
Yeah. I always felt the same too. And iron sharpens iron. And right, like you said, if you spar somebody so often, it's you're gonna know each other's tendencies. You're gonna know good and bad habits, and you're not getting better. You're just getting on good workout. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
good. It's good that coaches like you have open minds to that. I know some coaches they're kind of closed off to that kind of stuff, but I mean, we live on an island, bro. Like the only way you can get better is if you train with other people and other get other looks. So that's good, man. And it's hard. Like you see, you want to help people, but you also want to get your gym to be at a different at the best elite level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely, we striving for that. We're looking for the opportunity to get these fighters to the next level, and like everybody, you know, like everybody who's a coach, they want to produce a champion. They want us to produce, you know, get out there and let their training speak for itself.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think you're on the right track, man. And I've watched a lot of your fights, bro. I remember one of your fights that kind of got kind of a little emotional, bro. It was at Aloha Stadium, and I think you was going through some personal trouble, and um, bro, you knocked the guy out. I remember you just standing up after you won, and as we were in the crowd, I was thinking like, oh, he did it. It was one of your like your later fights, huh?
That
It-
that was actually one of the most memorable fights, bro. Aloha Stadium. You know,
yeah,
who can say that they fought in Aloha Stadium?
yeah,
Um, but that was crazy, man. I fought this kid from Cali, I think. At that time, one of my cousins just one of my cousins passed away, and I
yeah,
was telling the family, "Hey, this is for Chanel. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna fight for her." So, I mean, unfortunately for the guy, I wasn't gonna lose. You know what I mean? There's no way in hell I was gonna lose
Could
that
have been
fight.
King Kong in that ring against
Yeah,
you. It wouldn't matter.
yeah. I don't care who was across me. I wasn't losing that fight, and bro, this kid was tough because I was banging him with left hooks. I think I caught him with like freaking 15 or 16 left hooks I counted. He kept coming. But yeah, that was an emotional night. I was able to put that kid away and put him away in spectacular fashion. So it was good.
Yeah,
Being at home, being in the Aloha Stadium, having my family there, having um just the whole energy of the place was cool. So I was actually supposed to retire after that fight. All my coaches
oh,
like finish Paul, don't. And I was like, yeah, cool, I'm done, good. Um, but that didn't happen.
you did like one in Maui or something. I remember.
I did one in Kauai, bro.
Oh, Kauai.
Yeah, I did one in Kauai. My sorry,
No, no
uh,
worries.
Dominic Ani. This guy I fought him maybe like 12, 13 years ago. And he called me up. He's like, "Hey, Leo, let's run it back. Let's do it again." And I'm like, "Nah, bro. I'm overweight. I'm old. I haven't been training." He's like, "Let's just do it one more time in Kauai." And at that time, we was going through a lot as a family. My baby, my youngest boy, ended up passing away, and so we were going through a lot. And he kept on telling me, let's just do it. And I'm like, you know what? We'll do one more for you, boy. So I told him, you know what? I'm not gonna cut weight. Whatever weight we jump on the scale, that's what weight we're gonna fight. I ended up fighting him at 205, the heaviest I ever been in my life.
Well, that's light heavy, huh?
I was fighting lightweight, bro. My whole career was lightweight. And I jump on a scale 205. I'm like, holy shit, I'm all embarrassed. Like, oh man. But we ended up scrapping in Kauai. Same thing. I ended up dropping Dominic. I got the decision win over him. Super emotional night because that was, I wanted to jump in one more time for my son. And yeah, just like the Lost Stadium, I wasn't losing on that one. There's no way I was gonna lose on that fight. But I was fortunate. I was blessed to be able to win that fight, and that one was for my boy KALEO.
Nice. Definitely something you always take with you, bruh. And what, so you done, bruh? Like, you gotta be done by now, huh?
I'm
Jeez,
done,
what
bro.
was it? 96? I seen your first fight at Blaisdell. 95? I don't know.
Yeah. Was almost 30 years. Almost 30 years we've been fighting. That's too long. That's too long. You gotta know when to walk away. You gotta know when to bring up the gloves. And I didn't know, bro. I always had that urge pulling me back. Like, come on, one more. I still have that urge, I still think like, oh man, maybe one more. And my wife always reminds me, no, dummy, not one more. You like be on vegetable, but
Oh yeah.
and,
Go start the Makuli fight, Makuli League.
yeah, bro. It's hard. It's hard to walk away. I mean, you talk to any fighter, they're gonna tell you there's always that drawback to the ring, but you have to know.
It's one itch that nothing else can scratch.
Yeah. Even sparring, like sparring nights, I'm trying not to spar as much, but once the action start, I'm like, I'm just gonna jump in one round and end up sparring the whole night. But yeah, we gotta slow down. We gotta take care of the brain.
Oh yeah.
Take care of the body, take care of the eyes.
So how's that been with now, like all this medical science and stuff kind of contradicts the way we were brought up in martial arts? How do you navigate that? Like, okay, I gotta make sure my guy's not getting CTE or like getting to where it's not gonna be good in the future, but still being able to have their edge when they're gonna compete. I know that kind of is one fine line you gotta figure out too right now, huh?
It is, bro, and everything is science, bro. It's broken down to a science, to like the T. From weight cuts to sparring to different techniques to all these. It's kind of crazy. It's way above my head. You know what I mean? I don't understand a lot of these things, but a lot of the younger coaches coming in, they kind of guide that area and kind of run that area. Like Carl's a good coach. He's younger. He has a background in strength and conditioning, and even the weight cuts, bro. The weight cuts been like unbelievable for these guys. I mean, they're cutting 10 pounds the week of 10 pounds. If I was 10 pounds, I would be crying like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get this weight off, Back
we used to go, trash bag in the sauna with one big thing of lihimui in your cheek and just spit it, That's how we cut weight.
That's crazy, I remember cutting weight like that, bro. I would try to starve myself all the way down to like 5-6 pounds the week of, and just kill myself. And now these guys are staying 10-15 pounds right up to like 2 weeks out.
Eating 4 meals a day, it's nuts.
Drinking like 2 gallons of water a day, and the last day they don't drink water and they piss out 5 pounds, 10 pounds. I'm like, man, I wish we knew that back in the day.
Oh yeah. We hopefully got a shit in the morning for cut at least 1 pound.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta eat the bathroom in the morning. Yeah. But you never eat for 2 days, so I'm gonna shit out, bro. Nothing.
Dust come out.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, bro. This day and age, everything is broken down to a science, man.
Oh yeah. Shoot, well, we've been going for about an hour, bro. I just want to know, like, future wise, where do you see your gym going, and what are your goals for the future? Because every year you guys been open, is like you said, been getting bigger and bigger, and sky's the limit. So what are some of the goals that you want for your club and your fighters?
Well, like I said, we're finally at a place where we understand the business aspect, we understand the training, we understand what's drawing the people in. We're making a little bit of money, you know what I mean? Not a whole lot. We can pay our bills, and we can buy some extra gloves here and there. Um, but we understand, and the goal is to blow this thing up to where I can open up a second location on
Oh yeah.
island, and then I want to go to I want to go to the mainland. I want to open up something in the mainland. I have a lot of friends, a lot of guys that used to train with me that live on the mainland. I think hybrid house would be something that would be sought after. Everybody knows the Hawaiians can bang.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that if you got a Hawaiian in there, they're going to scrap. And especially with the name like hybrid, Hawaii bred, it kind
Yeah.
of it kind of markets our style of fighting. So I think we can attract the people up there, and yeah, that's my goal with the gym side. With the fighters, of course, like every coach, I wanna create somebody who can make some noise on the scene, get to the highest level,
Bro, that's
get a
nuts.
champion out of this.
Oh yeah.
And it's just gonna solidify Tony's legacy. It's gonna solidify my legacy. You know what I mean? Tony
Yeah.
being able to create what he created in his time, and I feel like we can do the same thing, man. We can create somebody who's a high level fighter.
Bro,
So
that's
that's the
crazy. I've
goals.
I've I've never thought about that. That the Hawaiian style of fighting can be brought to the mainland and created there. That's a fucking mean idea to start on hybrid in the mainland and have that style begin in the mainland at a gym. That's bro, that's good business, to be honest. You're right.
Yeah,
It would be a draw. And like you said, Hawaii's a little dot. If you look on a map, Hawaii is the tiniest dot, but the the baddest fighters come out of there, and it's good marketing to want to take it to the mainland and create that same kind of culture somewhere else.
right. Like BJ said, man, we come from a speck in the
Yep.
middle of the ocean. You know what I mean? That's
Yep.
what I always tell the fighters. We come when we train when we fight in the mainland. We come from a little piece of rock in the middle of nowhere, and we're here, bro. You're here. You're among some of the elites of this sport. Believe in yourself. You know what I mean. Believe that you can do this. We belong there. We
Yep.
belong there. We got hammers. We got fighters. It's in the blood. It's in the culture. So yeah, I believe that we can do something in the mainland. So if you got any investors out there who's
Oh,
watching the
maybe.
podcast, yeah,
Yeah.
let me know. Let me know.
Let's go.
We can work something out.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's the goals, bro. I just want to get maybe someplace in the Midwest or something. You know what I mean? Or the Pacific Northwest,
Oh
some
yeah.
some some random place.
Yep. Just oh yeah, that would breed a whole different kind of fighter.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see what happens, bro.
Sky's the limit, bro. So if
Yeah,
people were to want to sign up their kids or check out your gym, I know you guys doing um early morning adult classes, huh? Like at 5 in the morning or something like that.
5 a.m. When I first started the gym, that was our hottest class, bro. That was our biggest class. Everybody wanted to come in before work, and then kind of died down, and now it's picking back up. So yeah, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. for everybody who's trying to get that work in before work. We do a lot of hit training. It's all combat based training.
Yeah.
Train like a fighter, but don't get hurt.
Yeah, and honestly, the fighting drills and techniques and training is healthy for you, bro. It's big cardio. It trains timing and focus. It's good. It's a good workout, bro. Regardless, it's an awesome workout, and you get punched in the face.
Yeah, I mean, look at these athletes, bro. They're chiseled like freaking Greek gods, man. You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? And that's from just training, right? They're not lifting a whole lot of weights. They're doing a lot of body weight exercises, some weights, but not heavy, you know. And it's achievable. This type of training, it's achievable. So yeah, bro, it's definitely something good.
Yeah. Well, where can people find you? On the Instagram or your website? Like, where can people find you if they want to check out your gym and stuff?
We got
Or
our website. Yeah, hibredhouse.com. Hibredhouse.com is our website. You can look us up on there. On Instagram, we're Hybrid House too. Facebook, Hybrid House. Or you can hit me up on Show Me the Kwan on my Instagram too.
Oh, right on, brah. And for us, you can find us always Above the Bridge podcast on Instagram. Our website's atbpod.com, our YouTube channel, Above the Bridge podcast. And my Instagram is Thaddy Daddy High. Well, brah, I knew you for, what you said, 30 years.
Crazy, bro. We're getting old, man.
Brah, I knew you for 30 years and I've always been a fan. You always showed me aloha and love. And I've always been someone who admired you and always looked up to you. And I'm so happy that you're on this side of the island and doing what you're doing, because I always want to see I always want to see people in Hawaii do good, but I want to see a UFC champion repping the 4-4 or the east side. Like,
Yeah.
that would be kind of cool for me, bro. I would love to see that, bro.
Yeah, me too, bro. We gotta get one from the east.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. All right, man. Well, keep doing what you're doing, and I hope to hear from you soon. I'll be definitely watching what you guys been doing in the future.
Yeah, solid, bro. I really appreciate you, Dad, bro. I appreciate your
Automatic.
friendship. I appreciate what you're doing for the community and just getting the word out on the people out here. Yeah,
Right on, bro. Thank you, bro. Well, shakas for the cameras.
Aloha, bro.
Aloha, bro. We're out. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.